Hail, GTC here, and today I wanted to give my opinions on the Bellacor update. It's been out for about a week now, and I've been able to go through it a couple of times, so I just wanted to give my overall thoughts and opinions on the update as a whole. In my opinion, the Bellacor update overall is really, really good. It's an update that's not exactly heavy on content, but what's inside of it is really, really good. Kind of a quality over quantity update, if you will. The levels look really, really cool. Bellacor himself sounds really great. The art direction of everything is, usually good in Vermintide, so I'm not surprised they knocked it out of the park again. We got a really cool lore update and lore drop when Bellacor revealed that he was the one trapped inside of Castle Drakenfels, and he was the one talking to the Uberstrike 5 the entire time. I'm assuming as the nameless voice, which was really cool to see. The new boons are all really, really good. They each have their own unique build that they fit in, or they each have their own career that they work really well with. I really like the addition of the orb system and the different what the different orbs do with temp HP and damage resistance and whatnot. I think that's really cool, and I think that could be expanded upon to make even more boons in the future. The new Bellacor influenced levels and the new modifiers, once more, I like, and I think they have a solid foundation. More on that in a minute. And just overall, I really do think that it was a positive update to the Chaos Wastes. However, there are three things in particular that I do think are going to be problematic for Chaos Wastes in the future, so I do think they need to be talked about now and addressed in a future patch. Two of which came directly from the Bellacor update, and one of which didn't exactly come directly from the update, but was still a byproduct of the update regardless. The first of which that I wanted to talk about was grudge-marked monsters. The addition of Bellacor added basically different challenges in Chest of Trials, so instead of always getting a grudge-marked monster, you have a chance of either getting a grudge-marked monster or one kind of challenge, which could be all Blight Stormers, all Warp Fire Throwers, a bunch of monks, a horde, Ungor archers, etc., etc. That is a really cool change in my opinion. However, the problem with that is now grudge-marked monsters are so much rarer, and when they were originally created, they were super common, and Fat Shark balanced the challenges, the purity challenges, to unlock specific cosmetics based upon grudge-marked monster kills on each career around when they were more common. So now that challenge, which was pretty grindy to begin with because you had to kill, I think it was one grudge-marked monster type, Red Ogre, Chaos Spawn, Storm Fiend, Troll, Minotaur, so 5 monsters, correct me if I'm wrong, I might be wrong on this, 5 monsters for every single individual career, and that was super grindy back then when they were super common, but now that they're a lot rarer, that challenge has become so much more difficult to do, and I do think needs to be tweaked in some way. The second thing is Shadow Skulls. Shadow Skulls on paper is a really cool curse idea, but in practice, it just feels terrible to go against. The skulls have a visual indicator of where they're going to spawn up in the sky, but the problem is they're too transparent and too difficult to see, so half the time you have no idea where they're going to spawn. It doesn't matter that you hear they're going to spawn and you know the general area where they're going to spawn, you don't know exactly where they're going to spawn depending on the skybox and how bright it is or how dark it is, so because of that, half the time you're guessing. The other problem with them is that they sometimes directly spawn above of you, not, kind of like in front of you, or slightly in front of you or slightly behind you, but directly up above you, and if you're in the middle of a horde, you can't exactly reposition yourself quickly to take care of them, and because they spawn so quickly, a lot of the times you're just gonna get fucked, and because they're directly above you, you can't always pivot upwards to hit every single skull that's coming at you, so it's inevitable that you're going to be hit by at least one skull. This would not necessarily be a problem if other teammates could shoot them or hit them off of you like flies, but for some reason, no one can, so whenever you get hit by a skull, it doesn't permanently stun lock you, but it stun locks you for a couple of seconds with no way of your teammates freeing you, and on top of that, it does some damage. I did hear from a couple of people that it is possible to block the skulls with a shield, but when I tested it on stream, it seemed very inconsistent, so I'm honestly not sure if it's an intended feature that's just bugged, or an unintended feature that is also just bugged. So because of that, I think that skulls need more counterplay. I don't necessarily want to see a nerf to skulls, I just want to be able to see them have a little bit more counterplay. I think the easiest thing to do for skulls is just let teammates hit them off of you like flies. I think that's pretty much the universally agreed idea on how to fix skulls and make them more fun to go against, but I also would not mind if skulls got a very, very slight speed nerf on top of that. And then, like I said before, this last problem I wanted to discuss is not a problem that came specifically from the Bellacor update, but it's a problem that's becoming more and more prevalent every single time Chaos Waste gets updated with new content, starting from Grudge-marked monsters, and now is also being affected by the Bellacor update. Ever since the release of Grudge-marked monsters, every single update that has introduced major content to the Chaos Wastes has made the Chaos Wastes more difficult and in turn a lot more unfun for some players. I don't know if the term power creep is appropriate in this context, but I think you might be able to make an argument for it because Grudge-marked monsters was a massive difficulty spike when they got added into the game, and the Shadow Temple for Bellacor is also a very difficult event due to the special spam. If you think about it, every single roguelike game has the potential to have this issue of, I'm just going to use the word power creep for the lack of a better word, but none of them ever really do. And the question is, why? And I think it's because at the beginning of runs, they give you some kind of boon or assist or help in order to help offset that power creep. Off the top of my head, I can think of Slay the Spire, who at the beginning of a run, you talk to that whale god creature thing, and he gives you a random selection of 3 boons, which you can choose to help you start your run, and Gunfire Reborn, which is where at the beginning of a run, you have a chest of weapons that gives you a random selection of 3 weapons to choose from that are all better than your starting pistol. I think Chaos Waste needs something similar to that. At the beginning of a run, instead of being dropped directly into a Wholesaler's map, you should instead be dropped into basically a starting shrine, and you should be given a random selection of like 3, 4, or 5 boons to choose from, or a random selection of a couple of green weapons to choose from with different properties, and it should let you pick which one you want, either weapon or boon, to help you start off your run. I think this will help offset the difficulty spike and the power creep that Chaos Wastes has seen, and help people enjoy the mode a lot more. But like I said before, these are just my opinions. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe for more Vermintide content in the future, and if you have any questions, comments, or just want to chat, make sure to leave a comment down below. See y'all next time.